Spanish learners! Welcome to another episode of Spanish Academy TV. Do you happen to know the difference between martes and miércoles in Spanish? If you still struggle with this answer, then you are in the right place. In this video, you will learn all about los días de la semana, or the days of the week in Spanish. We'll cover pronunciation tips and how to use them in sentences. And as an added bonus, we'll give you a boost in memory power by sharing a proven technique for you to memorize new vocabulary quickly. Vamos a aprender sobre los días de la semana. Let's learn about the days of the week in Spanish. The first day of the week is Monday, and the Spanish word is el lunes. Next, we have Tuesday, and the Spanish word is el martes. Now, for the next day, we have an accent to pay attention to. Remember that an accent tells us where to put the emphasis when we say a word. The Spanish word for Wednesday is el miércoles. Did you notice how we stretch out the word with miércoles? All right, the next día de la semana is Thursday. In Spanish, we start the word with a soft aspiration because it begins with a jota. We say el jueves. Next is Friday, which in Spanish is el viernes. Now, the next one is the only other day of the week that has an accent. This day is Saturday. We say el sábado. Notice how the accent directs our emphasis towards the first syllable, and we say sábado. We don't say sábado. And the last day of the week is Sunday, which is el domingo. Nice work! Now let's run through all of them while you repeat after me. Lunes, martes, miércoles, jueves, viernes, sábado, domingo. Yes, you got it! Now, did you notice anything unique about the days as we went through them? There are a few noteworthy differences that you should know about los días de la semana. Let's see what they are. Number 1, they are always lowercase, unlike the days in English. Number 2, in contrast to the English calendar that starts the week with Sunday, the week in Latin countries begins on Monday. And lastly, number 3, each day uses the masculine definite article in the singular, as in el lunes, and plural, as in los lunes. Excelente! Are you ready to improve your conversational skills? Let's do it! In English, we say things like, I'll see you on Saturday. But how would you say that in Spanish? The secret is the definite article. The article el functions the same way as the word on when it's used in a sentence. For example, ¿Vas a venir a mi casa el domingo? Means, are you going to come to my house on Sunday? Yo tengo que trabajar el lunes. Means I have to work on Monday. And él quiere ir al dentista el jueves. Means he wants to go to the dentist on Thursday. And when we can change the definite article to los and add an es to the end of the day, we mean that something happens habitually. For example, yo hago compras con mi abuela los sábados. Means I shop with my grandma on Saturdays. Ella juega a las cartas los martes. Means she plays cards on Tuesdays. Los miércoles yo trabajo como tutor de inglés. Means on Wednesdays I work as an English tutor. Now, we're covering a lot of ground today, And you might be wondering how you can remember the names of the days of the week in the quickest possible way. I've got you covered with tips on how to use a tried and true memory technique. It requires a bit of creativity, but it's well worth it. Have you ever heard of a mnemonic device? This is a scientifically proven method to increase memory by connecting new information to your previous knowledge. One way to do this while trying to memorize the days of the week is to link the sound of each word with a crazy mental image. Let's try it together. El lunes. When you read the word el lunes, it sounds very similar to the English word loony. I like to think of a funny image of a loony-looking guy standing in front of a sign that reads lunes. Now repeat after me. Loony lunes. One more time. Loony lunes. El martes. What does el martes sound like to you? I immediately think of a Martian marking the date on his calendar. This little guy is jotting down the date in his calendar. He's got plans on Tuesday. Repeat after me. The Martian marks martes. Remember that the trick here is to associate the pictures we show you with words. So next time you're stuck trying to remember the Spanish word for Tuesday, try to remember the little Martian marking that day of the week. El miércoles. El miércoles is a fun word that stretches out at the beginning. This makes me think of the sound a cat makes when it wants attention. Meow. Try it with me. Meow. Meow. Miércoles. It's the middle of the week and your cat is tired of you ignoring her. So she crawls up to you and says, meow, meow. And now suddenly, Wednesday is meow, meow, miércoles. The coolest part about this trick is it doesn't matter how silly it is, as long as it works. If my examples don't work for you, then you can come up with your own associations that work well for you. It's easy. Let's see some more. El jueves. The pronunciation of this word is an aspirated sound, followed by a w sound, which is rare if not impossible to find in an English word. For this day of the week, I like to think of the word wacky, which may not sound exactly like jueves, but it's close enough. What does a wacky jueves look like? I see a clown at a kid's party, sharing all of his wacky tricks with them and making them laugh. El viernes. On Friday, you probably like to hang out with your friends. Imagine that you go to a karaoke party and suddenly it becomes vocal viernes. You and your friends are exercising your vocal cords while you sing, making vocal viernes a lively, music-filled kind of day. El sábado. The first random word that comes to my mind when I say el sábado is the word sad. What does a sad sábado look like? When you've had too much fun on Friday with your friends, and you might be pretty sad that it's all over on Saturday. That's why we can use the thought of sad sábado to remember the day after Friday. El domingo. Sunday is definitely a family day. Did you ever play games with your family on Sundays? If so, this memory trick will be super easy. I like to think of Domino Domingo. You and your family sit around the table playing dominoes on Domino Domingo. Some of you have let us know that it's hard to remember the order of the days of the week. We came up with a pretty easy strategy. Let's make our moments jazzy, very special and delightful. Did you notice something interesting in what I said? Check it out. Each word starts with the same letter as the corresponding day of the week. Lunes, martes, miércoles, jueves, viernes, sábado, domingo. Another powerful way to remember the names of the days of the week in Spanish is to understand their origin. The Spanish days of the week have a significant history tied to each of their names. Let's take a look. Lunes comes from the Latin dies lunae, meaning Día de la Luna. In English, this means day of the moon. Martes comes from the Latin dies Marte, meaning Día de Marte. In English, this means day of Mars. Miércoles comes from the Latin Mercurii die, meaning Día de Mercurio. In English, this means day of Mercury. Jueves comes from the Latin Jovis die, meaning Día de Júpiter. In English, this means day of Jupiter. Viernes comes from the Latin Veneris die, meaning Día de Venus. In English, it stands for day of Venus. Sábado comes from the Hebrew word Sabbat, the day of rest. Domingo comes from the Latin die Dominicus, Día del Señor, or Day of the Lord in English. Great work today, Spanish learners! I hope that I've helped you remember the days of the week in Spanish and even get a glimpse of how to use them in conversation. If you'd like to give conversation a try with a live certified Spanish teacher from Guatemala, sign up for a free trial class at Homeschool Spanish Academy. Our professional teachers are fun, effective, and easy to talk to. Look for the link below where you can learn more about us on our website, or jump straight to booking a free class. Expand your world from home and get started today. I hope you enjoyed this video. Leave a like and be sure to subscribe to our channel for all Spanish learning updates. Hasta pronto!